Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
On today's episode, get ready, the ceremony is about to begin. This is Pandora Hearts. Welcome, everybody. I am your master of housekeeping, Moxadine, here with, oh my goodness, fresh from his coming-of-age ceremony. I can't believe it, folks. He's a man now. I'm so proud of him. Isekai Sensei-sama, Brad. Brad, how you doing?
Don't tell him where I am.
Where you are?
Yeah, I'm hiding.
Oh, you just came from your ceremony, though. You're a man now. And we are here, still in the what was the official name that I've been calling it the last democracy arc.
Rose Democracy.
Rose Democracy arc, sorry. The fan vote arc, quote unquote. Fan in quotes. Fan is doing heavy lifting, but the fans did vote on it.
The Patreon Electoral College.
The Patreon Electoral College, because like we said, those who paid no money all got to vote, but the people who paid more money got more vote power. But yes, we are covering Pandora Hearts. This ran from May 2006 to March 2015 for 104 chapters, and I've never heard of this. Square Enix's monthly G-Fantasy Shonen magazine. I did not know Square Enix had a shonen, not a shonen, just a manga magazine in general.
Which is funny because this feels borderline shoujo to me.
I mean, it feels very Square Enix-y, honestly. It also does feel... I will get to a point that will make a point I want to make more clear. This was written and arted by Jun Mochizuki, who went on to make the case study Vanitas. But for my diving, she cited an inspiration as Full Metal Alchemist, which I can very much see with these chapters. Side note, we read the first two chapters because the first one was like 25 pages, and I needed a little more, and it felt like it could give a little more.
Yeah, and this is online on Manga Up.
Yes. Yeah, this was not one I read on K-Manga. I'm losing track of where I'm reading these things now. But yeah, I had never heard of this manga before.
I want to say I've heard the name before, but I never looked into it.
Yeah. Well, we will dive in.
You probably heard about it from last.
Almost assuredly. We'll dive in after my Moxie's Mox Speed manga summary. In a grand room, a boy covered in blood is spoken to by hooded figures. Oz Vasilius, with my chain of condemnation, I hereby pronounce judgment on you. Your sin is your very being. You're very big. I could not with the voice. Retrace 1, Innocent Calm. Cut away from that to a large mansion. A woman, Mrs. Kate, seems crazed to find the young master and comes upon his servant Gilbert. The party is today and I can't find him anywhere. Gilbert says he doesn't know until Kate tortures him with cats. He's at the lake, which gets Mrs. Kate away. But he's not at the lake, as the young master bursts forth from the closet with a young girl who I think is his sister?
I have to assume.
She calls him Oni-chan, at least in the translation I read. Mm-hmm. But I know that doesn't necessarily mean that he's older brother.
Right.
But it's supposed to. But who knows anymore. He wants to keep exploring the grounds, but then Uncle Oscar admonishes him. Also, Uncle Oscar is here now. It's your coming-of-age ceremony, Oz Vasilius. Wow, the same Boyd as the opener. Weird. You're 15. It's what happens. The very old mansion is seemingly only used for this ceremony. Oscar is overseeing the services, but Oz's dad should be, but he is not present. Oscar then gets Oz a box with something he asked for, but then Kate reappears.
The dad is the Duke.
The Duke.
Yeah.
You know me and royalty. We don't get along.
It doesn't really make a difference here, but it's a whole affair because they're important people.
Yes. Oscar then gets Oz a box with something he asked for, but then Kate reappears, and Oscar runs interference while the trio of Oz, his quote-unquote sister, and Gilbert escape out the window. Oscar gives a threat Oz, no fooling around at the party today. If you do, I'll call the messenger of the abyss on you. But Oz says that threat doesn't work anymore. The girl asks, what's the abyss? And we're told it's a prison where they lock up bad people, and that a messenger from it goes out and takes people who have committed deadly sins. Deadly Sinners! Sorry. I played, was that Thug 2 a lot. I think Thug Deadly Sinners was on Tony Hawk's Underground 2. Whatever. Not important. Then we learn what's in the box. It's an outfit for Gilbert to wear to the ceremony. Oz wants him there not as a servant, but as a friend to put the coming-of-age cloak on his shoulders. This flusters Gilbert. A lot in these chapters fluster Gilbert. What would the nobles say? But Oz doesn't care. And who cares about Dad? He's not even here at my coming-of-age ceremony. Why would he come back just to punish you? Strange music pulls the boys away till they fall through a broken bit of floor into what appears to be a cemetery. End of Act 1. Beginning of Chapter 2. Or Retrace 2. I guess I didn't get the name of it now that I'm reading this. They approach the singular grave. The name has been rubbed off, but they find a pocket watch. Was the music coming from the watch? Oz grabs it and appears somewhere completely different. A strange mansion room with scary dolls who laugh at him. They say the girl will be happy he's back. She's been waiting a long time. A strange girl in a dress appears and hugs Oz, happy he's back. But Oz has never been here. Oz is freaking out about the situation. The girl talks about how no one comes to visit and how lovely it is when he comes by. Reality starts breaking down as the girl rushes Oz, strangling him and saying she won't forgive him. She'll kill him. She will always find him no matter where he hides. She will teach him despair. Then she goes to stab him with a knife, but he wakes back up with Gilbert at the graves as if he never left. What the heck was that? Oz leaves with Gilbert.
What the heck was that indeed?
Oz leaves with Gilbert and his sister, keeping the pocket watch. He leaves Gilbert to prepare. Gilbert, all alone, thinking about it, is visited by a hooded figure who seemingly takes him. We get shots of Oz going to the ceremony, wondering about if he had never gone to that mansion. An ominous dread is in the air. Cut back to Gilbert, and he has seemingly been taken over by something, as the hooded figure remains talking to not Gilbert. Or should I say, Doldum and Doldy. Obvious plays on Tweedledee and Tweedledum because people can't goddamn not riff on Alice in Wonderland enough. Move on, people! And that is basically the end of the chapter.
I mean, it's a pocket watch.
I know, that's what I think. And it's like there should have been they should have seen a rabbit while they were going to investigate it. I'm very tired of people riffing on Alice. It's insane how many times people for over the years since it's been out constantly are riffing on Alice in Wonderland.
Well, this is from 2009, so
I mean, still
not as many people have done it then.
Alice in Borderland. No, people have by then. Everybody's been riffing on it for a billion years. Which, like, Alice is good, whatever. I need to say what I wanted to say, but in a nicer way than the phraseology that I had.
Okay, well, you think about that. Because I need to say that this is really interesting to me because so much of this reads so similarly to so many of the, like, the villainous manga that I read now. There's so many touch points, tropes, and stuff that this is just getting to that I'm like,
interesting.
Oh, I wonder if those are doing that now because this started a trend or was part of the beginning of the trend. Because, I mean, 2009, that was a long time ago. And as many similarities as I saw, and I'm just going, no, this looks like one of those from now, one of those that's coming out right now.
Interesting.
Almost to a exact degree. Like, it's sort of crazy.
Okay, I'm just going to say my phrase, but I'm going to say the material is not... I'm not calling what this manga full bad, but I don't have another term of phrase for this. At least with these first two chapters, this is 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. And I don't mean that these chapters are shit. This is just my phraseology to say there is so much gosh dang stuff going on that has been shoved into 50 pages, and so much of it feels disconnected from the other things, and it's building a lot of intrigue. And I don't think it's like, this was one where, I mean, what? I guess my mission statement from the top of this is like, I do not think this manga is bad. At least either A, it's not for me, or B, within these first two chapters, I need more. Because it just felt like we were just casting intrigue out in 50 different directions, and it wasn't paying it off, but it doesn't have to. It constantly felt like it was in the motion of going somewhere. Like, and now with your things, if this feels very Otome, I'm just like, I think I'm under-equipped for this one. And by virtue of having to stop, not like, there was nothing about the story and my connection to it that compelled me forward. It was just intrigue of what's going on, but it was doing it well enough that I kept, like, I was getting close, but I didn't reach the point of, like, what the fuck is this? I can't just keep getting led along by intrigue of, like, and then music goes away, and they fall down there, and, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, there was a lot of, like, we're doing this and they're doing it. Okay, now we're over there. We did the little opening thing where he's being punished by something, and maybe that's the Abyss Keeper, and then, like, it's put together. And I'm, like, again, it's if I read more, I'd probably learn more, but, like...
I think there's really only two main intrigue paths right now. There's a third, but that's less important and more just a general what is this world one.
Okay.
So the one is obviously those hooded guys, right? And they took over Gilbert there at the end of chapter 2, and, like, what are they there for? Why is his sin his existence?
Yes.
Like, what does that all mean? I think that initial scene might actually be from chapter 3 or 4. Like, I think that's, like, right after the ceremony.
Oh, you think they take him away and then we get to that point?
I think.
Interesting.
And a lot of times that's how this goes in these kind of series, where it's like you'll start with a flashback, and as opposed to most media where you start with a flashback and then you get to that point halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, a lot of the time these flashbacks happen in just a couple chapters from when they start. The other point is what's up with this mansion and the hole and the stopwatch and the girl, like, what's going on there.
Yeah.
And they could be intertwined, those two things, the two intrigues.
They're probably, at some point, they'd probably be.
But there's no clear indication yet that they might be connected. So
none of the pieces I've been given feel like they connect, but I've read enough stories that it feels like a lot of the bigger picture things coalesce in something larger than all of them.
Right.
What would the third thing just be? The general intrigue of, like, this royal family, dad's not here, uncle's here.
Yeah.
This is a rambunctious kid who wants to explore. He's trying to lift up, like.
And for people who aren't familiar with these stories, if this is your first one, you might be really interested in that. Like, what the heck is going on? Why doesn't his dad here? For me, who reads a lot of stories like this, I don't really care about that. It's something that I want to be explored throughout the story.
But it's not a main hook for you,
right.
Even though it's a bit of intrigue, because
right.
it was. And I think, because my point I was going to make of the opener, that's like the I guess flash forward, is it's like, hey, this may seem like it's just royal intrigue, but there's something bigger and weirder going on here. And then I was going to say, well, why would they do that? We get the weird pocket watch transfer thing, but it's like, well, that's chapter 2. This is a monthly magazine.
Yeah.
You got to hook them from the first one, especially. I could not imagine a monthly magazine where, what was it, like 28 pages, if that?
Well, that's the thing, is it didn't seem
to me.
like there was that many, the chapter wasn't that long. And this definitely reads to me like the kind of thing where when I start reading this, I need to read 10, 20 chapters at once to get enough. This
is not a monthly, and I mean, the chapters are short, but yeah. Well, I guess the chapters are normal. I mean, if Jump is our measuring stick, which, whatever, it's average. If anything, it's a little bit more, but a monthly one is usually a little bit longer.
It's the fact that it's monthly.
This is a manga you read with momentum.
Yeah.
If
I had to wait a month between these, it would drive me crazy.
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm probably already, spoiler alert, I'm probably not now, but, like, I wouldn't. Because it's just such a drip. Like, if that's the drip feed and the 5 different, the 10 different directions we pulled in. Because what you build up, it's like he's the young, I guess the Duke. So he's the son of a Duke. He's got a servant who's essentially his friend. The tone's all over the place, which did remind me of, like, having read it and then seeing the thing of, like, oh, she was inspired by Full Metal Alchemist. And I'm like, that checks out. Because it's like the way the tone shifts when the head of the household, Mrs. Kate, is talking to Gilbert about where is he. And she's like, I didn't think you liked cats. And then she tortures him with a cat in a very clearly, like, chibi comedy style. And it's like, oh, we're doing that. And
Which is something that has not gone away, by the way. For these kind of things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like that. But that's me. Like, I get people like that. I'm not going to come down on it too hard. But, like, that was a tonally thing where I'm like...
For me, it depends how you do it. Because you can't... at least in my opinion, it doesn't work when you do that within something serious happening. But if it's just like normal stuff is happening before we get to the serious stuff and we do some of that, it's like, it works in that way.
I think a lot of it's just the way it's, because I thought about that more, and of the way it's depicted. And when I say depicted, I mean in a way of like pacing and how much importance, how much actually bound to reality it is or not. Because it's like him being attacked by a cat is something that like it didn't need to happen, and it technically did happen, but it doesn't really have a bearing on anything else. But also they do that to him. I think like Oscar does it to him later. He like threatens him again or something.
Like 4 or 5 times before we get to...
Yeah, like this poor boy gets like completely like dragged around a bunch of times, and he's like a very anxious boy. And it's like, why? He's just trying to do his thing. Why does everybody constantly have to keep, for comedy, whatever. Yeah. It's a tonal thing. It's fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm mellowing. Maybe I'm just mellow today. But like when I was reading it, like, I don't know. Like this, I've said it before. I don't think this manga is for me. I do not think this manga is bad. I think 100% this manga is for a lot of humans. And I mean that in a positive way, instead of like, there's something here. This isn't like this isn't to my taste. Like, why do people like this? Why is this popular? It's like, I am happy other people like this. I am sad that it's not for me. And I probably wouldn't read more of it. It is not my... I do think, I guess, give me your things about the otome stuff. Because, like, this is, like, also, like, we're dealing with royalty. We're dealing with that stuff.
Yeah,
and, like, all of that is, like,
thing.
to my own verbiage in my own brain, even if I don't think it is bad or bad art, is generally, my brain just classifies as just, it's royal bullshit. Whatever. I don't care. Like, it just, that's not a time period and a structure that tingle my brain at all.
I think, and this is something that I've done because I read so much of it, you sort of separate yourself from the idea of time period and just go, this is a different world.
Oh, well, yeah, but it's not a set historical thing. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
It's all vibes based.
Because a lot of times with these, it's like, oh yeah, this is like Victorian era,
but it's not actually
royalty,
England
but they
Germany,
have microwaves and stuff, or
the particulars. The historical particulars are not what is important to my liking or disliking of it. It's just all these
set
like
dressing is
it's
what
the
it
family.
is.
The set dressing. Like I do love a good, cool, big, weird mansion thing. I'm always a sucker for that. But like by and large, of like the royalty and it's the servant and I could never and all that. I'm just like. And I don't think it's bad writing. I think it's just these are things that I don't like.
Yeah.
But no, what do you here wait. I'm going to grasp in the dark about what I think is going to happen next, and then I'm going to implore you to tell me what you think, because I think I'm going to value your opinion more than me grasping in the dark. So what? We've set up he's having a coming of age ceremony. We know he gets taken by hooded figures and he's going to be punished for being. The fact that his uncle who's close to threatens him with the abyss messenger, and he's like, that doesn't work on me. With having that opener of just like, has he already had some relationship with that? Does he know it's real or not? Because I feel like they talk about it in a way that it may or may not, like it feels like kind of fairy tale-esque.
The way that they talked about it seemed to me like it's a thing you tell children to get them to behave.
Yeah, it's very much a here comes
and then you get to a certain point and you're like,
oh, it's real.
Oh, I know that's fake.
Yeah.
Except actually it's real.
It's actually real. Like that was the vibe that I got. I guess that's the thing. Oh, he's coming of age. This doesn't work on me anymore. I know the abyss isn't real. But then they talk about it like a history thing and like all this other lore. Which I think if you didn't have the opening flash forward would have been more like, okay, guys. But like with that, it's like, I'm putting pieces together. Like it felt like I had enough of a frame for the puzzle to start putting it together. The whole thing with the watch and the teleportation and the girl there was the most just like I think it's good. I just didn't like it because it's like I haven't settled my feet on the ground yet about what the fuck is going on, and then I'm taken somewhere where it's like you've been here before, but it's like I like how he reacted there because he felt like me, because sometimes they're just like, huh, what's this? But he was like actively like, what the fuck's going on? Where am I? Like, who are you? Like, I've never been here. Like, he reacted in a way that felt like the level of intensity that an actual human would, and not just like a, huh? What's going on here? What are you talking about?
I think he didn't teleport anywhere. I think it was more of like an illusion or in his mind kind of thing. Obviously they have like, oh, he's got handprints on his neck, so he really did go there.
Did he have handprints, or did he just say that he had the sensation of still being
you
choked?
could see, you could see stuff on his neck.
Okay, so he was like physically affected wherever,
right.
however he was.
But that doesn't mean he actually went somewhere, because that happens all the time with like magic shit where it's like, or dream level stuff. It's like, it affected them in real life even though they never went anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
because it seemed like time didn't really. I don't know if as much time passed, because it was mostly just like, what are you looking at? Not like you were not reacting for a while.
Right.
But it's like you show up. There are dolls. There's a lot of creepy dolls. They're alive. They laugh at you, and then they tell you she's coming, and she's excited you're here, that you're back. Not even that you're here. You're like, all of that is delicious intrigue. It's this like, there's so many things there. It's like, I'm in a weird space. I'm uncomfortable. I'm scared. Someone is coming, and I've been here before, but I've never been here.
Yeah. And
that she's excited that I'm back, and you're just like, instantly just like trying to get your feet under, like, what the fuck? What? Who is this? What? I've never been here. What do you mean she's happy I'm back? Like, who is she? And then her like, nobody likes to visit me anymore. I think she said something about like what I've done or what she's been doing or something. There's like some point about like, she makes a point about people aren't around, but I think she like puts it together with like either how she's been or something she's done. And just like every new line is just like more intrigue, which I did like. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I guess this is what I wanted to talk about. It's like, the intrigue is interesting. I think just the whole soup as a whole was just not to my particular taste, but all the individual ingredients, or not all of them, but like the intrigue ones where I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then like, when things start breaking down more, reality literally starts breaking down. The background like becomes cubes as she's attempting to kill him, and you're just like, what changed? It's like the strangling, the like, I'll kill you, but then that is followed by like, I will hunt you no matter where you, like, your sins will be punished. I will teach you despair. And like these like really big concepts of you've got it coming, more than just I'll kill you or I'll get you. It's like, no matter where you go in where the heck we are now in this scene, I'm going to come after you to punish you for your sins. And it's just like, and then he's just back, and you're just like, what the fuck was that? And then we get like really ominous, we get the Gilbert thing, and then he's like, I guess a future him is very ominous about going into the mansion at all and about what's coming, that like, could I have avoided all of whatever's going to happen? So
yeah,
I don't know what maybe something's fucked up with his dad, and that's why dad is not around, but it is passed to son, and that's why his sin is being, or maybe his father has made some great sin that he is now, literally the sins of the father. I don't know. I'm now more interested in this manga than I was reading it, now talking about it. This is a manga to be talked about with your buddy while you're both reading it, honestly. The whole point of me re-putting the steps together is where we're going. So what? Gilbert's been taken over by some weird thing. I guess if I can, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Deedledee and Deedledum, whatever. Thanks for being creative. Was she not the White Queen? The Red Queen?
The Red Queen is the Queen of Hearts.
She had a bunch of subjects that were weird, creepy dolls. Oz Vasilius is not Alice.
I don't think she's the Queen of Hearts.
Okay. I'm literally just throwing pieces together and going, this? Something? Maybe?
If anything, she might be Alice.
Why would she be Alice?
Stuck in Wonderland.
Okay, so who is he?
Do you want me to tell you what my conjecture is?
Oh, go for it. Yeah, no, take the floor. I don't know what's happening next, and clearly I'm just... You seem confident in your foreknowledge.
I'm not necessarily confident, but I can see two paths that this could go down. And of course, it could go down completely different paths.
You seem less scrambly than me. How about that?
So there's two sides to this. One that is sort of focused on her and the mansion, and the Abyss stuff is separate, and then one where they're sort of intertwined. So in the first one, she's somehow connected to the mansion. She's obviously, like, they stumble upon this grave where they find this watch. Is that her grave? It could be. Was she the original? Like, did she originally live in this mansion? And,
do you think the mansion they go to is the same mansion, just through like either
no,
time or space
place.
or whatever? Like it is. Well, I mean, what?
Oh, when he touches the watch.
Yeah, is that the
maybe,
mansion?
maybe.
Because even Oscar makes a point of like, I've never even seen all the grounds, and I've been here multiple times.
Right. Yeah. So it definitely could be that.
Maybe something happened there, and that's why they only use it for the ceremony.
In that case, if she is like a ghost of the mansion or something like that, as the Abyss people are getting to him, she's gonna like manifest, and he's gonna get power or whatever from that.
Oh yeah, he keeps the pocket watch. I don't think I said that in the summary. I should have put that in there. He keeps it. Like they make a point of like, why did you want that? It was really spooky. He's like, I don't know. I just felt like I should have it.
So that's one way that it could go, where she's sort of like the power source for him to go out into the world and deal with whatever larger evil is going on.
Okay.
The other way that I could see this going is that the founding of this kingdom used her power in some way. And like the original king was like visited her and was friends with her or whatever. And then as he got old and died, maybe his kids were visiting with her, and like this is where she's like going, "Oh, you're visiting."
The coming of age ceremony is essentially you get to go into Wonderland and meet her,
maybe,
and see the source of some magic power they have, maybe.
Because the thing is, I mean, as the son of a duke, he is almost certainly related to the royal family.
Yes,
that's generally how it goes. Is that the dukes are part of that lineage, and so he could be like a reincarnation of the original king or something like that. Like there's a connection there. So when she's like, "Oh, you finally came back," it could be that she thinks he's the king or whatever. And you could have a very similar thing where it's like, "Oh, I'm going to lend you my power because you're related," or "I think you're the same person," or whatever. Or it could be that because he is that reincarnation or something, that he's attracting all these forces because the original king did something bad, in order to establish the kingdom or something like that.
Well, okay. So are we going to if we're calling her Alice, did he essentially go to Wonderland? Is that where Deedledee and Deedledem came from, who we know are connected to the hooded figures that are punishing him for sins?
It could be that this whole world is Wonderland to an extent. It's obviously twisting it quite a bunch. And maybe it's like, oh, we've established a kingdom in Wonderland and made it like the normal world or something like that.
So you think the manor is there? Because like my brain always goes like Wonderland is a separate reality that you could just enter from quote unquote ours. And maybe like that's the like I like your thing of like maybe it's just his father was there, because my brain first was like, oh, maybe he was there with his father when he was a kid, like younger than he is now, obviously. But I like the idea of just like his father was here and met this woman in this other, like I'm treating it as a shift in not necessarily time, but a reality that maybe kind of overlaps here. That is Wonderland, because it's like. The hooded figures talk about punishing for sins and crimes, and she talks about, I will hunt you no matter where you go for your sins.
Yeah.
And I will teach you to spare. So, like, there's some deep-seated, like, does Dad not come back to this because Dad did some shit there to maybe get some form of power, and is like, I don't want to go back there because that's where they're going to get me?
Maybe. But I think the thing that I'm latching onto is those Abyss people going like, your sin is your very being.
Yeah, that's why I go. What is your thing? Because my thought,
which is why I go like,
father.
Oh, I think he's like a reincarnation of the king, and the king did something bad, and so the fact that he's alive is bad because the original king, should have been punished for doing that bad thing or something like that.
But why wouldn't have his father gotten that then? Why is he getting it?
I mean, maybe he did to some degree, but it could also just be that there hasn't been a reincarnation of the king yet, and he's the first one.
Okay. Yeah, that really stinks of Tomei's stuff. Because, like, my brain is like, I haven't given a shit about the king yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's even mentioned this entire time, is he? I mean, barely knowing that his father's a duke specifically, but he like you get the sense that he's in some important royalty position.
Yeah.
I don't give about shit about kings. I think it's more interesting if his father does it, but I also know people think kings are interesting, so whatever.
I think the thing you get with that for a lot of these stories is the lineage, because if you're just like a commoner or whatever in some story, like who cares about your family?
No, but his dad's a duke. Like, he's still in a position of power. That we don't know how he got it because we don't know how this universe works, but it just makes sense of, like, why would she think he was back if he'd never been there? And obviously it can always be like, well, he doesn't remember because we can do timey-wimey bullshit. Yeah. But also it could be, well, he looks like his father, and his father was here, and they got along well, but clearly he took something or he did some wrong, and that's why it's this veneer of like, oh, I've been stuck here. I'm so glad you're back to visit, but also
got
I'm going to fucking kill you.
Maybe you turn the watch back and it goes back in time for that girl, and so maybe he visited her in the past. In her past,
yeah. I don't know how literal, like, I mean, that's the thing. It's like my brain is going, this is a different dimension.
Yeah.
Like, it's not super, it doesn't need to be super clear. It's not literally going, this she was somebody from the past of this reality. But I don't know. The series is called Pandora Hearts.
Yeah.
And also sometimes names of things, I didn't check if the localization was different, if I gave it that, or if it's like Pandora Hatsu or something. Kingdom Hatsu.
I think the hearts part is linked to Alice in Wonderland.
That was my thought. Yeah. So that was my thing of going, well, that's like Hearts, the Red Queen, Queen of Hearts.
But I don't think we've met that person yet.
If that's not the girl.
I don't think it is. But
then I think about Pandora, and Pandora, I go to Pandora's box of like, there is chaos that is opened up from this. And that's why I think it's like his father or some other figure went into whatever this Wonderland is and did something to cause a problem. Whether it was explicitly to get power or not, he fucked with something he shouldn't have fucked with.
You know,
and that has opened this Pandora's box. Like, it has opened up this connection to our reality that messed a bunch of stuff up.
She might be the Cheshire Cat.
Elaborate.
Gilbert doesn't like cats.
Gilbert's not here.
I don't know. I was just trying to think of characters from Alice in Wonderland that would fit.
I hope there's something to Gilbert not liking cats more than just an attempt at a comedy beat. I don't think that's why she's... Is she smiley specifically?
Well, I mean, she was. She had a big grin. Like, it was sort of an evil grin, but she had a big old grin.
Maybe. I mean, because I go, usually the cat is mysterious, but is still like a guide, is sort of this more...
Right.
And this was not, but also like, we're doing whatever we want. We've got Deedle-Dee and Deedle.
But if you think about it from the standpoint of like, maybe it was the original king, or maybe he went back in time or whatever, and it's like, oh, she was playing with them before, as the Cheshire Cat is like, I'm fun and I'm doing stuff that maybe you don't like, but I'm doing it because I think it's fun and we're playing, and then not having anyone around for a really long time and going crazy because of it. More crazy.
I'm gonna still hold by either your earlier thing that she's Alice or she's the Queen of Hearts. That's mostly on the puppets. That she had like a chained audience essentially that spoke for her, and that's very like royalty than just somebody lost. Maybe. Like it's like I go, in Wonderland adaptions usually Alice is these archetypes, but also it's just like we're putting these things in a blender. This is its own work that just happens to be taking things from this. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have this thought now, even though it's a thought that makes sense later. I mean, obviously, first, and the listeners will already know this, we already reloaded something this arc.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to reload this, but honestly, like, I would read more of this and talk to you about it in a special, like, chat room made for you, me, Lass, and anybody else who's either, like almost like a book club.
Okay.
Because what? It's 100... You know what? Maybe. I don't like giving myself more work. I don't know why I'm doing this, but honestly... A book club that we would start when this episode came out, that we would do like 5 chapters a week, and then we would go, when we reach a certain point, we would talk about it in the thread, or something like that.
Well, you said it out loud.
It's only we've said a lot of things out loud.
You have a couple weeks left to change your mind, and I can cut this out.
Well, no, okay. JoJo January happened, so and a lot of other things we said we'd do, and then I forget about them, and I go, no, wait a minute, I don't want to actually do that. But like honestly, like this is not something I would read. I mean, I guess talking about it is like I've built intrigue now. Now I want to know in a way that I'm discussing and going, and I want that a way that like these comparing of notes is fun, and the talking over the pieces is fun. Like the intrigue of this is what's pulling me forward more than anything. And to know that didn't I say it's like only like 100 chapters and it's complete?
It was 105 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like that's very doable.
Yeah.
Like,
so
as long as all of them have been translated nicely.
104.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Chop that up week by week.
Yeah.
Easy peas.
It's funny you say that because
it's mostly the book club is that like that gives us some structure to stay on the same timeline.
Yeah.
Instead of like, well, one person binges all of it and I'm slow moving through it, and then there's no like what I want out of this more than anything is to have this conversation again in further along.
So when I read this, I was like, I'm interested in this. Obviously, like we've said, when I'm going, oh, this has this DNA of these Otome things, the villainous stuff. Like, this is something I'm interested in. It's at least these first two chapters it's doing those things, and I like those things. I was reading it and I went, I think I want to read more of this. I would probably want it if we weren't doing this episode. I probably would have read like 10 chapters at least to start.
Yeah. Like it's a manga that feels like I should flow forward.
Yeah. But at the same time, I was like, since I have to stop, I want to read more of this, but I don't know when I will. Because generally, if I stop, it becomes like,
there's no
okay,
momentum.
I have to do
that's
it
why
again.
that's the book club
so
is to create
it's funny that you say that.
Structure of a momentum.
Where I'm like, I'm going to read it.
I know
then.
how both of our brains work is that if we make it's not necessarily work for the podcast, but it is adjacent enough that there is enough structure to it that it's like, I should read that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'm enjoying this conversation greatly. You know, I don't know how much I'm going to necessarily like the more chapters, but my brain being in detective mode and not just I'm taking in a story mode changes the context of this. And I feel like just random thoughts about it. It's like I feel like that can lead more to if the intrigue doesn't come together nicely, my opinion on this manga will turn sharply because the other pieces aren't. I'm like, but like I don't know. I like the young master. Like I mean, Gilbert's not having a good time right now, but I hope he catches a break. He seems really neurotic. I have no idea what's the deal with the younger sister. She's kind of weird. She's kind of doll-like almost.
Yeah.
It's like, why did she hide with him in the closet? In a way that it seemed like he was keeping her in there and keeping her quiet. It's like, why would she? What's her deal? Like, she seems very passive and placid and all the puh words or whatever.
Pretty.
Yeah.
She's actually a little weird looking.
She's doll-like almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how old is she? Is she or young? Like, nobody says her name, I don't think. Nobody confirms who she is in the context of things. Like, what? Is she just like a weird living doll thing? Like, all I have to go on is Oni-chan. But everybody else's names get said. We learned Mrs. Kate's name. No Oscar. Like,
that's a good point.
What is she? And like, that's the problem. It's like, this thing is doing a million things, and maybe it's like, it's not important right now. And I don't... Intrigue upon intrigue upon intrigue. I don't know. I've said all the things that I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm curious. My curiosity has been piqued. There's enough pieces moving around. There's enough things to pull on. I want to read more chapters and talk to you about this again and see last chuckle from her space up the steps of knowledge of knowing what happens, going, oh, you, hee hee hee. What you don't know. The art was fine. The art was good. The art was also, I mean, like in the, not literally, but in a tonal way. I mean, with the jokes and everything, it is very Full Metal.
Yeah.
Like the outfits were nice, I guess. I don't know.
I wouldn't say
this is not my aesthetic. No, it's not. We've read more gorgeous manga in this arc, which also is like a twisted statement because there's some both of an episode that already has come out by now and the next episode. Oh my gosh, some gorgeous art. Yeah, This one's fine. It's fine, but it's not. I would say it's not workmanlike. It's better than that. I would put more respect on it. But it's like it's Full Metal-esque in the way that it shifts between things and displays things. So
yeah.
Any closing thoughts before we get into Thinkies and Feelies?
No. Yeah. I think I want to find out what's going on.
Yep. Shoot, I have to think about what I think about.
Well, I think on a technical and story level, from the first 2 chapters, I'm going to say good to great. I think that the fact that it gives you so much intrigue that makes you go, oh, I want to read more, without tiring you out.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because there's series that I've read where it's like too much intrigue. I'm tired now.
You're right, because there's a lot. I made that was my whole point about 10 pounds of intrigue shit in a 5-pound bag. I'm sorry I keep using shit. I don't think it's shit intrigue. I think it's good intrigue.
Bursting at the seams.
Yeah. I felt like it's too much, but now that we've discussed it, I feel like I'm taking actual time to digest it and not just be like you use. Because I think what it has helped is that a lot of proper nouns are not used. We learn about the abyss and the messenger, and when those come up, we're told what they are in very simple, non-poetic-y, overly obtuse terms.
That's not something I personally think about very often. I think, generally speaking, people don't think about that too often. But that is a huge...
Proper nouns?
Over-nouning.
People talk. I think people have to think about. Listener, if you get annoyed about over-nouning and it's not just me, please post in the comments or our Discord. I think there are times for like proper nouns can be fun, but if you dictionary me out of the first chapter or two, I think you're a shit artist. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. You're not.
No, you have to trickle it.
You have to lead in. I don't care about all of your words right out of the gate. You're being silly. You're being too you're being too deific about your own
We've seen that
works.
happen before, and I don't
shadow eliminators.
Yeah, I don't know that we've really spoken about it specifically before. But
I've yelled about too many proper nouns before.
It's definitely something where when it happens, you get fatigued from it.
Because I'm being taught a bunch of new language that I don't know, that most of it doesn't matter yet.
Yeah.
And just like lead me there as a human, and then when I need a word for the term, give it to me.
Right.
I don't need it earlier than that. Or teach me in a very particular way that's not just, here's one person explaining in a word bubble on one page, and then we move on. Like, if you're going to tell it to me, make it important. Oh, goodness. My opinion changed on this.
What was your thoughts when we started, and what are your thoughts now?
I think I always thought it was good, but I think I leaned more towards fine before a conversation, and now I'm honestly leaning more towards great, but I don't think I can say that.
Good to fine to solidly good, potentially good to great.
Yeah. Because, like, you do make a good point. It's like there was a lot of intrigue, but I felt a little like, whoa, that's too much. But when I sat and ate it, I'm like, okay, no, I can connect. Like, everything I felt like I could draw threads, or I went, I don't know what this is, but I could put it on the corkboard and go, like, I'll figure out string for that later. It wasn't just like, oh my gosh, slow the fuck down.
Well, and I think
it was always just like, it was always a sensation of I couldn't get my feet underneath me, but that felt like it was a me problem and not an artist problem. Well,
and I think our different experiences play into this a lot, because there's a bunch of things that, because of my experience with so many other series, that I see them and I go, okay, whatever. Whereas someone who's not as familiar with them might get hung up on that.
Yeah. And also, like, I notice in my side myself, it's like, I need to make a conscious decision to shift into detective mode, which is what I did here, where I went, okay, let me actually put all the pieces together. Like, let me take time to think about it, that is not just me reading the chapter, me rereading the chapter, I read the summary and seeing how I feel about it. Yeah. And I think this came together in that thinking about it. This was a manga, at least from these first 2 chapters, I had to digest, which I feel like is not always true of what we read. I feel like this is the positive direction of us doing this show, because sometimes it's the negative direction of I had to have too many thoughts and feelings about a singular thing that the thing was never built to have, and if I just read through it like a normal goddamn human being, I would have had a lot better time with it. But this is one that I feel like I'm having the opposite positive thing of it. Like, this made me stop and think and digest, and that has given me better thing that I don't think I would have if I just came across this without that.
I would say that, like, a truly great, amazing series would mean that you would naturally shift into that as you're reading it, and you wouldn't have to then come back and talk about it.
I would disagree with that statement. Especially with I guess with the amount of intrigue being thrown for the first chapter. And I feel like sometimes it's like a need to settle into it.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I said, I feel like everything's interconnected enough that I've settled enough. Like, I have a problem when it's like, especially, this is what I have my problem with proper nouns. It's like, my brain needs a bucket to put information in. And if you don't give me anything that, and I don't know if this is like a fucking neurospicy something or other, or this is just my brain in particular, this is just how all humans' brains works and we just don't say it out loud. Like, I need enough things that connect to other things that I know to form a basis to start forming a bucket to be able to collect information in and sort through it.
Yeah.
If you blast me with a bunch of proper nouns and a bunch of things that I don't know and have no thought or emotional connection to, it comes in one ear and out the other, one eye and out the other, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
And this one, I feel like I didn't have that problem somehow, even though it was not my aesthetic, it was not my setting, but like upon this conversation and upon looking back through it, I was like, okay, there's some stuff going on here. Like, I'm settling in. I think what's keeping me from great is I think just some of the tonal movement around. And again, this is the Full Metal Alchemist thing I had a problem where it's just like, we're having a serious moment. Now we're doing a funny, chibi slapstick moment. Okay, now we're right back to the serious moment. And it's like, there's ways to do that, but I don't like the way that Full Metal Alchemist does it, and by extension, I like it here. I don't think it happens enough times to be a problem here, but it's just like...
I think that's my thing, is that it's not...
I think tonally, like, I wish it breathed just a hair more, and I wish it didn't do that tonal whiplash, because it's not good at it. Because it doesn't feel like it's lowering the tension in the room, and it doesn't feel like it's on purpose hitting me with whiplash as like a thematic meaning. It just feels very like, well, this is what we do here, tee-hee-hee.
I guess my thing with it is like, there were a couple times where I felt like it was a maybe too fast of a shift, but I never felt that I would never have used the word whiplash for it.
Whiplash is a strong word, but it was just like, if you even those out, where it's just like, she threatens him in some way to get the information to Gilbert, and because Gilbert's like anxious, he gave it up then, even though he lied then. But just the way that it's drawn of the little chibi form and the cat, Harry lowering a cat onto him, it's just like, no.
Yeah.
Like, this manga is not funny. It didn't need that. So it just feels like it's a bump that doesn't need to be there, and if it didn't have those, I feel like I'd be more close to... If it didn't have those and it breathed a little bit more, it'd feel great. Because those moments makes emotional things happening later less meaningful when you can just sort of do this emotional, like, ooh, we're here, we're back, we're in unreality land, and now we're in reality land again, but not like how the watch is. So I don't know, that might be nitpicky, but yeah, no, I would say I think it's good, burgeoning on great. Honestly, I feel that, but there's just the hanging sword of Damocles over all of this, of that if the intrigue doesn't pay out in a way that's satisfying, none of my positive feelings remain here.
Yeah.
This is not, I think this is checks that the manga could cash, and I'm having trust in it, and this is not me writing checks of what this manga could be, that it could bungle super hard. I genuinely think, and not just feel, it has the ability to pay these.
Yeah. Well,
how do you feel?
I feel that it's great.
Yeah. I mean, this is more your aesthetic.
It's my thing. And yeah, I don't think it's doing anything, at least not for me, that gets it too amazing, fantastic, whichever one of those you want to use. But it's my thing, and it's doing it to a degree that makes me want to keep reading it.
Are the ones you read, the other otomes and similar to this, always so adept at the intrigue web building
no,
right out of the gate?
No.
Okay, then I want to make sure we shout that out collectively, especially for you, because you have a more like, I have zero basis to this, and you have a lot more, and I just felt like, even from listening to you talk about them on heroin addiction, this seems like it built. I mean, but also like my sense of like chapter to chapter, I don't have listening to you guys, because that's not what your show is, and this one is obviously very specifically about chapter to chapter. So.
There's some connection to the manhwa stuff that we've done, but this is more to just the manga that I read that are like this. So
I guess that's heroin addiction is specifically manhwa for the most part. So yeah, true.
I wouldn't say that this is really to the same degree there, but
also there's usually following women.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're following a boy here, a man.
Yeah.
Well, he's about to be a man. He's not a man yet.
Yeah. There's a couple here and there that don't, but it's more about like the aesthetic and the direction of the story and the setting and stuff.
Okay, I gotcha. Would you buy this?
Oh, well, here's the thing. I'm going to pay money for this. I'm going to figure out how Manga Up works, and I'm going to pay money for this to keep reading it.
I guess I have to if we're going to do this book club. I'm going to have to figure this out.
I don't think, at least now, I don't think this is something that I would want to own a physical copy of.
No, like it's such a, even if it's only it'd probably be about 11 volumes, give or take, depending. Well, these are really short chapters, so I would say probably 10 to 11 volumes at a guess.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
So much of it is based on, do you guys stick the landing?
Yeah.
And that is not a thing that I want to gamble that much on, even if I'm going to keep going. I guess I'm going to go piece by piece.
But I gotta say, this kind of series is exactly why I think that digital distribution is good. Because this isn't something that I need to clutter up my house with, but I am interested in it and I want to consume it.
I mean, this was the old joy I had before Amazon kind of put the kibosh on it, is that I would buy books, I would read them, and then I would resell them on Amazon. And I would lose money in the operation, but I would lose notably more. I'd get at least, 3/4 of my money back of whatever I spent on it, reselling it. And I liked that. That felt nicer to my body. But I guess in this case, it could just be, I buy them, and then when I'm done, I donate them to the library, which I keep talking about. Maybe that's what I'll do with all my iShield manga. Like, I keep going, do I want to keep all those now? Because I tried rereading it, and I kind of fell off. Sports Art broke my love of sports manga. But also, some of it is, I've read iShield now, and I'm an adult as opposed to, a singular adult. I'm a double adult. I'm adult. So, I don't know. And I didn't have that podcast back then, so I don't know. But I feel like at some point I should figure out how to donate manga to the library in a way that it means it will go to live on the shelf at my local library that I get my manga from sometimes.
See, I have a big problem with
giving things for free to organizations. No. I didn't actually believe that. I just wanted to put really shitty words in your mouth you'd never say because it was funny. Sorry.
The thing about okay, I'm going to leave the house to go do this thing. And when am I going to do that? Is there something else I should be doing while I'm out? All of that, it just turns my executive dysfunction on high.
To go out and buy it, or what do you mean?
To, I'm going to sell it on eBay, and so now I have to ship it. Or I'm going to donate it to the library, so I have to go to the library, and those kind of things.
I'm already going to the library.
You are.
Exactly.
I don't regularly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
So when you say, I'll buy it and then donate it or sell it or whatever, to me, I go, that sounds awful. I would end up not doing that, and then it would be cluttering up my house.
I need things to do. I like having things to do, and that's a thing to do.
My thing to do is read more manga.
There you go. I mean, we still have to go to Second and Charles, and I have a bunch of books to sell there and a bunch of credit already there to buy a bunch of manga that we're going to read one day in an arc that who knows when. We are on the same page. We do not need a high noon.
No. This would be a sword duel, though.
This would be a duel, but I think if I didn't come around to you, I think I would have dueled. But I feel like I came around where you were at, or reached some other new thing I felt like I reached it for myself. Not just, you convinced me. Not to say that your part in this didn't affect things. My brain's clearly still grappling with something. I don't know what it is. We just need to read more. People, when you hear this episode, most specifically last, who I'm sure really always read this, but if anybody else, I mean, if I remember long enough, or at least remind me when this comes out to do the book club.
You're going to remind yourself when you listen to this episode.
You're right! Thanks, current me, saying this out loud to future me, who's current me listening to past me. Thanks, Moxie! But we'll have remembered I said thanks, Moxie, there. Who knows? Well, I say it along with it as I walk around. I don't walk around the park anymore because I don't have time in between, so I guess it'll be walking around a different park. Yeah, Brad, close this mystery out. Snip this web of intrigue. Be punished for the sin of being too big. You're not too big. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm still tickled by that. I'm just very simple.
No.
You're punished for the sin of your shirt is too purple.
Honestly, this happens all the time. So, I'm basically 6'4", 200 and I don't even know what I am now. I'm a big guy.
Org.
As I move around the world, most of the time, I don't feel overly large. I generally fit most places, so I don't think about it. But then anytime I see a picture of myself and I'm next to someone else, or I'm next to
average-sized human for scale,
you see, I can see myself next to a known size something or other, and I just look and I'm just like, why am I so big?
Because you're tall. You're very tall.
But it's not just my height. It's like width. My head is bigger and just everything.
You're just Control-T shift.
My hands are normal size. But other than that, everything else about me is huge. Everything else
about you.
About me.
Your shoe size. Oh my gosh, Brad. So large. Such big shoes.
I don't. I'm always surprised.
The sin of being.
The sin of being.
The sin of being. The sin of bagel.
As always, we need to thank Segoy Mart for partnering with us. Segoy Mart's a retailer of Japanese snacks, drinks, toys, and merch. All kinds of cool stuff you can't get outside Japan. Click the link in the description or use code APR15 at checkout to get 15% off your first order. But we want to hear from you. So you can check out our social media links on our website, animepodcasterreincarnation.com. The best place to chat with us is our Discord, where we're apparently now doing book clubs.
Maybe.
You can also check out our Patreon, where our supporters get perks like getting the high-quality stereo version of the podcast early, getting to vote on what we cover on heroin addiction, and bonus episodes. But, of course, we have to shout out our patrons. So first and foremost, at our noble tier, we've got our Marquis Cake Dwarf.
It's Cake Dwarf. I took my your tip for me a bunch of episodes ago that I listened to recently. I'm just like, let's just do more John Williams. Also, Cake Dwarf, you still need to tell me if you know or like Jurassic Park at all.
Also at our reincarnate, no. Also at our noble tier, we've got our Count Imaginary Numeral.
I feel like I need a different. I've been doing like the same 3 for them. I feel like I need a new spooky vampire.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, I'm not calling imaginary space Nazis.
Dun, 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 dun,
Man, Duel of the Fates might be one of the finest songs written by a human being. Because as soon as that starts, you're just like, yo, 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 yo. What's another song that you have that instantly, once it starts, you're just like, your like heartbeat goes up and you're like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's like the drugs kick in. You're just like, whoa.
Oh.
Think about it. Listener, do you have a song? Sir, but not in music. I don't see that very well.
Anyway, last but not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Rena, Laura Carroll, and Last Man on Earth. So thank you so much to all our patrons.
Thank you, Brad, for that. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Make sure you listen to all the podcasts on our feed. And listener, I will punish you for the sin of not being subscribed to our podcast. Ah! This was a manga that I was confused by, but not about what was happening, just about how I felt about it.
Shh, don't tell anyone. This is Pandora Hearts.
Am I whispering?
I don't know. Because he was hiding in the beginning.
I just felt like whispering. Honestly, I'm open for concepts, because this, I don't know, this manga moves in so many different directions within just 2 chapters that I'm just like... Yeah.
I'll say this before you get into it.
You know what? I didn't do my spritz. Maybe that's it.
I opened this document and I was just looking at it real quick. And this in your first sentence here, I read it as, your sin is you're very big.
You're too large. Not like fat, just like you're outside of the bounding box. We've got to trim it down a little bit. In a grander, did I finish my Mux? Yeah, I did finish my Mux Speed manga summary line, right? I think so. Before I started blowing my nose like an idiot, I think I did.
Well, if you did, I'll use that.
It'll be funny. Mux Speed manga summary.
Well, as always, we need to thank some more.
There was no hope of you getting into that normally after that really silly tangent.
You're back. Everything floats down here. That's the worst sin.
Make sure you're subscribed. Or me and my scary dolls will get you through all of time and space.